Stugotz here, guys. You've heard me talk about Indochino and how made-to-measure suits feel better compared to generic off-the-rack suits. They do. So if you haven't checked them out yet, now is the time, especially when they are available at such great prices. Guys, I love Indochino. I am getting great suits, customized suits, at reduced prices. You're going to love it as well. Indochino is North America's leading made-to-measure menswear company. They make suits and shirts to your exact measurements for unmatched fit and comfort. It's easy to get started. Visit a stylist at their showroom and have them take your measurements personally, or measure at home yourself and shop online at Indochino.com. Guys love the option to personalize the details, including your lapel, lining, pockets, buttons, and writing your own monogram. So, get your perfect suit and just watch as the compliments roll in. And November is Black Friday season, meaning 2018's lowest prices up to 70% off on everything. Make an entrance at your holiday parties with Indochino. This week, our listeners can take advantage of Black Friday pricing by using code LeBatard at checkout. That's 70% off the regular price for a made-to-measure suit. Plus, shipping is free. That's Indochino.com, promo code LeBatard for up to 70% off. It's an incredible deal for a made-to-measure suit. Once you go custom, you don't go rack.
Great news. There's a quick way you can save money. Switch to Geico. Geico could help you get great coverage at a great price. And it only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to Geico.com today and see how much you could save.
Man, I'm looking at this video of Mike Tomlin exiting the field after they beat the Jaguars yesterday. The dude is fired up. Hey, they made it out of the stadium.
Made it out of the stadium alive.
I mean, barely, though.
Barely.
Woof!
The Jags own Pittsburgh soul in that they play them pretty tough defensively. Yeah. I saw Leonard Fournette took to Instagram to talk trash. He's like, we're still 2-1 against y'all, which is, all right, some sort of rallying cry.
How are you doing?
How am I doing?
Yeah.
Feeling the effects of the weekend.
It looked like you had a good time up there.
I did. Physically taxing. Thank you to everyone who went up to UCF. I can't really thank the administration all that much because what we did was unsanctioned. And I got all sorts of backstory about how our previous arrangement was nuked, and I'm not thrilled about it. And I'm pointing, my radar's totally locked in on iHeartMedia.
Is Leonard Fournette slow, or did I just look at, bad plays? Because I saw plays where he looked really slow.
There was that one time where he, broke past the line, and Leonard Fournette, what is he, 225 pounds? He had a DB in his sights, and he tried to juke him, as opposed to what everyone was screaming to do, which is just run through him. He's not that slow, but he does look plodding. That entire offense looks plodding. It's like college. You can throw, so you just run every play, even run with your quarterback.
What was the turnout, would you say, as far as people that were there just to see, fans of our show in Orlando?
Well, I went to game day, and a lot of people were wearing the national championship shirts that we had given out in Orlando the previous year. Let me say this on the front end. The whole campaign to go out there a year after to deliver a trophy and T-shirts kind of gets neutered by the fact that they also made their own fake trophy and fake T-shirts. And they're legit. You look at the campus police, the cars say national champions in the stadium at the bounce house. They call it the bounce house because it actually bounces. That's dangerous. It's when you're walking
Wait a
up,
minute.
you see the entire...
Yeah, the stands bounce. It's super dangerous.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
No, thank you.
I've been reassured.
I am good.
No, thank you.
I've been reassured they reinforced it, but when you're there, you're shaking, and it seems kind of dangerous.
I like a good, calm crowd. I don't like the feeling of the stadium shaking. I don't like when you go to Pro Player, Joe, whatever.
The Rock.
The Rock. I don't like when you go to The Rock and it's like, oh, you can feel the stadium shaking. No, thank you. I don't like that. I don't like to feel like my life is in danger because a couple people are too excited. When I go to concerts at the AAA and there's people jumping around or dancing too much, I'd prefer if you'd stop dancing so much because I want to get out of here alive today.
Do you ever get nervous looking at the upper deck and the people in the front row? It's like, be careful.
Yeah,
Stop leaning over.
I'm not an engineer, but I have to think that you're accounting for people's weight, not people creating all this force on a building that isn't normally accounted for.
Well, I would think that they do think about that stuff.
I don't know. You would think, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Well, that's why they went out of their way to reinforce the bounce house. But yeah, even on the press box, it says 2017 national champions. It doesn't even say national champions. Just straight up, we're the only national champions from this year, UCF. But it was a great atmosphere when I actually went off to drop off the trophy to this designated tailgate. There were a lot of people waiting there. Shirts were a prized possession over there. Thank you to all the show fans that have been out there that said so many nice things. Really appreciate it. I left the trophy with our affiliate people out there because they do such a great job out there in Orlando. Such a great job that I forget their call letters. But they helped us out a lot. So they are now in possession of the fake trophy, a trophy in which I just realized we put the wrong year on.
What does their trophy look like?
Their national championship trophy?
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. I just know that they actually have one.
Are we out of shirts now officially? Like
we are
done?
officially tapped on shirts.
Were you handing them out like Santa Claus?
No, I wasn't actually. I had... All right, so I took the remainder of the shirts that we had here, but there weren't many. Yeah. We had about maybe 25 shirts here in this studio. Our Orlando affiliate had an entire box still, and they gave to the people that were organizing this tailgate. I must say on the air that this was not a sanctioned Orlando affiliate event. This was just people acting independently, and it was just an organic pop-up. Some people had shirts out there, and they were handing them to everybody that was to see a glimpse of the trophy and take photos. So they were all there. And again, the trophy has the wrong year on it.
What year does it have on it?
It has 2018 because they won the Peach Bowl in 2018. However, you're supposed to say it's the 2017 championship.
No.
That's what it says on the press box.
No. The press box is wrong.
You saw Kevin.
Yeah, I saw Kevin.
That was cool.
Our legendary caller who called twice on Friday's show. He is a gypsy man. He is a gypsy man.
Does he wear shoes?
He might have been wearing Crocs. I didn't get a look at the feet. I didn't get a look at the feet. My first instinct was to ask where the green jacket was because he wasn't wearing green jacket. But he pulled out his ID and he proved to me
show you
to show me not only was he Kevin, which he was, but also that it was his birthday, like he claimed.
What did he smell like?
I mean, I didn't get a whiff. There's a lot. It was sensory overload out there, but he's a gypsy man.
Why don't they play the game at the end? Like, why don't they play it New Year's Eve to avoid this confusion?
Right? We're all sort of confused by it. Honestly, we should have slapped on 2017, 2018.
Well, look, no, now it can work for this year because they could still be 13-0 and it could still be a good trophy.
They're going to do that thing. I love that you can just say you're national champions. And honestly, as I understand it, there's a record book that when you look up,
they're listed.
Champions, they're listed because up until the BCS, and even post BCS, because I think there was a year that Auburn was like the AP national champion, even though USC won the BCS national championship. It's so much better nowadays because the national championship game was really whoever was the number 1 team in the country, and because of bowl tie-ins, it would play like the number 12 team in the country at the Orange Bowl, and they'd just be champions. It's all super arbitrary. So, I mean, it's not that much of a leap what UCF did.
Big football weekend down here. Canes won. Dolphins didn't lose.
Canes are back. Totally
are they?
Back. We're all the way back. All the way back. Here's another cute thing about what UCF did, because they're like, how crazy is this? This is insane. And they have a pretty cool setup with a memory mall. And I'm not here to knock your fake national championship. I'm really not. But like
it's fake.
No, it's cute. All of it is very cute. It's very wholesome.
Right, I don't know if you're aware of what you're doing.
It's very wholesome, but they're like, how does this compare to Miami? Because they're feeling themselves because they're having what they think is like a really crazy tailgame.
Oh,
I'm like,
here we go.
It doesn't.
Oh, Jesus!
It doesn't at all compare.
Really?
It doesn't at all compare. It's unfair to compare anything to anything from this city because
anything. Because there are definitely tailgates around the country that are better than the University of Miami's tailgates.
Better is subjective. I'm saying just generally immoral. Right. Like, you walk into a Miami Hurricanes tailgate, you feel like you need to go to church the next day.
This is why people hate
it's
Miami.
Just Sodom and Gomorrah.
Like, this is why people hate Miami.
It's just Sodom and Gomorrah. And you know what? That's not a University of Miami thing. Yeah. I'm sure it's the same at certain tailgates at FIU when they actually have people go into the games. Same thing with FAU. It's a South Florida thing.
I'm sure there's a section of UCF that has a rowdy area where they're doing like ice luges and stuff.
I saw all of it. What's really cool is all of it happens on campus. Yeah. All of it happens on campus. So it's kind of a cool atmosphere.
Miami owns debauchery.
I mean, Well, Billy, this isn't a University of Miami thing. You're where
No,
where
I'm saying
we grew
the
up,
city.
right? Yeah, yes.
No, there's
Put it-
crazy tailgate.
Put it on the poll. Does Miami
Miami's
own
voting for
debauchery?
this. Miami's the only one listening to this.
Put it on the poll. Does Miami own debauchery?
I mean, not just the tailgate. You would agree, though, in terms of cities, Miami is a debaucherous city. Like, there's Vegas. Like, people go to, where do you go if you want to just have a wild weekend?
I'm sure if Vegas...
Miami's a top 5.
If Vegas had a college football team, which they do, UNLV, and it's nothing close to what Miami has, but I'm sure if they actually had a good program, their tailgates might be wild. It's just, I mean, vices are built into this city.
I feel like Live is a better example of that than the Canes tailgate, though. Like, Miami can be a crazy city. That doesn't mean that the Miami tailgate is crazier. I feel like there's crazy parts, like Tennessee, Georgia. Like, there's probably crazy stuff happening at these tailgates.
Look, yeah, again, crazy and fun. Those are subjective
I'm looking at top
terms.
tailgates, and Miami's not on any.
No,
of these
Miami's
lists.
not going to be on it. Miami's not going to be respected in that
People
because
don't
it's
know.
not a college. It's not a college tailgate. I mean, you have DJ Laz blaring, and you have clothes that aren't at other tailgates. You have dancing that isn't at other tailgates. It's just a different deal. It's a lot more debaucherous.
Speaking of South Florida sports, Billy, you were talking about underwear before the show.
That has nothing to do with South Florida.
Yeah.
Well, because if you
nothing.
get, it's kind of a joke because it's so bad down here, our sports, and like underwear gives off.
No, there's no tie-in. Just keep pushing through.
keep moving.
It was
Keep
actually
going.
more funny
Keep going.
when it had nothing at all to do with local Miami sports.
I think South Florida sports gives off underwear right now. What piece of clothing?
You still go with it? Okay.
What piece of clothing does the South Florida sports
You're
give
right,
off right
Chris.
now? Hats. No,
you say so.
underwear.
Well, all right.
Are there other things in
Where's this
life
one
that
going?
when they happen, you say, "Oh, that's this piece of clothing"? No, right? Like you don't say, "Oh my God, this apple pie is just like."
You
a
guys know
shirt."
how improv works?
Are you happy?
Apparently you
what
don't.
did? Yeah, we're not. I know you're not supposed to say no, but we were helping you out. Just like keep pushing forward, and here we are
Oh
comparing
my God,
sports
what a
teams to
great
hats.
smell!
What were
This
you
is like
saying
a
about
tie.
underwear? Why were you talking about underwear?
Why was I? Truth be told, I ask in the room, is this person still a sponsor of the show? Because I don't want to do this if they are a sponsor of the show. They're not a sponsor of the show anymore, but I was just saying,
But we would love to have them back.
well, yeah, whoever. Here's the deal. I'm in a strange place right now because I'm not happy with my current underwear. And I was happy with my underwear before, but I feel like they've stretched out and they're just not satisfying me the way I want anymore. So I'm curious if anyone has underwear suggestions because I can't really try on underwear. That's a normal thing. No one can really try on underwear because I can't open a package of underwear and then return. I mean, I could if I was Chris, but I'm not. So I can't open a package of underwear, try them on, and return them because I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. So I need to know. That's the thing is that you need to kind of know what underwear you're getting before you buy them. And I don't want to spend, a ton of money, but then what am I going to do? Am I going to buy different packages of underwear and see which one I like? Because then I've spent all my underwear budget on that.
Well, if you said they're too stretched out, you said the underwear, too worn? Because it might just be that you need new underwear. The brand is not the issue, but you just need to re-up.
No.
How often are you supposed to switch out underwear?
That's a good
Because I
question,
got
too.
underwear with all sorts of holes in them.
No, those you should toss. Truth be told, I was walking around a lot yesterday. I was a little sweaty, and I'm feeling uncomfortable today, and I feel like a part of that is because of my underwear. Like,
Shower might help.
no, I showered, but this is like, I feel like it's like a diaper rash situation.
Oh.
Not to get too into this, but
That sounds like my weekend. I was alone parenting this weekend. So.
Oh, please do tell.
what piece of clothing did that remind you of?
Diapers. My weekend, if my weekend gave off a type of clothing, it was diapers.
Wait, does anyone have underwear suggestions?
I mean, I wear Hanes boxer briefs.
I'm putting this on the poll. If I wonder how much of our audience owns pairs of underwear with holes in them.
Roy, is your underwear game strong?
Not really. I mean, I own Hanes boxer briefs, own boxers. That's about it.
Hanes is like the classic. You go to like Walmart or Target and you buy like your Fruit of the Loom. All right,
Yeah,
back to your
Fruit of the
babysitting.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was awesome.
When did you start? Because I saw you were at a bar like Friday night.
Yeah, I started Saturday. That was actually
that was part of that was day one of you.
well, I started on Saturday morning, and so my wife, since I had her all weekend, my wife was like, you know what, you can go out in a couple hours and take a couple hours off since you're gonna. Dude, it is so tiring. This single parent thing. I don't recommend
You're
it.
not a single parent.
I was this weekend for 48 hours. It's like, I'm just telling you, I was more exhausted this weekend.
What did you do? Walk me through what you did as a single parent.
Dude, you're going to learn about it. It's just like doing nothing, just hanging out at the house, taking her to Dunkin' Donuts, walking back, just being in control the whole day. I was exhausted yesterday. What you're looking at me like, oh, what is parenting not tiring? Like,
No, Allison's eyes has rolled into the back of her head while you're talking about the struggles of being a single parent.
I mean, Roy's the only other person here with the experience. Do you agree?
It sounds like you just stayed home.
He did just stay home.
Dude, I even went over to my parents' house so I could, like, so she could see the baby, but that was also me just, like, kind of using them.
So you were not a single parent for 48 hours. You dumped her on your parents.
Yeah,
no, I didn't
out to the
leave.
bar, you were there with somebody else, obviously, because they were driving.
Well, when I went out to the bar, she was with my wife
He
still.
wasn't with the baby at the time. No.
Oh, man, really?
It was a rough
I started
48 hours
Saturday
for Chris.
morning.
Was this truly 48 hours?
It sounds like max
Christy
36. Max
bad
left.
liar. You're a
Oh,
terrible liar.
Christy
What time did
left
Christy leave?
6:30 a.m.
6:30 a.m. Christy
on
left.
Saturday.
Yeah.
And she got back yesterday late night.
That's not 48 hours.
30.
And
She got back this morning at 6:30.
in between, you went to his parents' house because he needed a break.
Well, no, I was there taking care of her, but like you're gonna learn this, Billy. You judge me. You're gonna lean on the grandparents.
No one's saying that it's hard being a single parent.
I wouldn't refer to myself as a single parent.
Well,
Yeah, don't
especially
do that.
since
Yeah,
you're
that's
not.
terrible.
But also, I think you're trying to overstate exactly how long you were by yourself.
I'm not overstating. I'm saying it was tiring.
You walked to Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. Well,
Walk us through your day.
Walking generally.
Walk us through your day.
Woke up.
Woke up.
Went to Dunkin' Donuts.
What time did you wake up?
Like 7 a.m.
Did you take your daughter to Dunkin' Donuts with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, you woke up at 7 a.m., but your wife left at 6:30.
Yeah,
The baby
that's right.
wakes up.
She woke
You
you
guys, you don't have kids. They wake up at
I'm
7
just trying
a.m.
to yeah, no.
Every baby?
No, not every
Mine?
baby. No, sometimes they have. I'm trying to figure out if your wife left before the baby woke up.
My wife left. The baby was still sleeping. I was like, oh, good. The baby's still sleeping. And then, like, 20 minutes later, off. Well, let's do this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then we went to Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
You walked to Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah, because
With
it's right
your
across
baby?
the street.
Did you wear one of those things?
No, we have a stroller.
You crossed the street with your baby?
Yeah.
Look both ways?
Called a crosswalk.
Did you use a crosswalk or you jaywalked?
I used a crosswalk.
Did you wait till the light changed?
You're a
Yes. Are you
jaywalker.
kidding me? I mean, I'm a jaywalker by myself in Miami, maybe, not with my child.
Okay, so you went to Dunkin' Donuts. What did your baby have?
She had eaten. Gave her a little yogurt before we went. So I gave her a little piece of my bagel, just little bites. She didn't really eat anything from there. Mm-hmm. But this isn't this like interesting of a story. I'm just telling you.
I'm just trying to see where the lines are.
A normal weekend for me when my wife's around. At the end of it, it's not that tiring. But
It sounds like your wife is more of a single parent than you.
Why?
I mean, it sounds like she does everything.
Well, that's moms are the best. Dads are just trying to like Roy could probably explain to this. The moms are leading. We're just here. How can I help? How can I make this easy?
Yeah, we're just here.
Right. I love you. Like, what are you guys like trying to like? What am I lying about?
We're not saying,
When
I'm saying you're lying.
if it's-
Roy's the only person in this room that could support you, and I'm not really seeing that strong of an endorsement of.
well,
anything
Roy's
that you're
probably
saying.
hasn't had a weekend where a need's like gone away for the
I'm
weekend.
just interested in your day. So you went to Dunkin' Donuts. You came back from Dunkin' Donuts.
Yep.
And then what?
And then we just kind of hung out, watched some TV. She ended up taking a nap, and then when she woke up early afternoon, we went over to my parents' house, took her to the park. My dad was adorable watching him with her. Uh-huh. And then we walked to the park, a lot of walking. We had a good day. I think it was good.
Okay, all right. It doesn't seem that laborious. Doesn't seem that tiring.
That's what I'm trying to express to you. But
That it
just
was?
being in charge, me having to like
Pay attention?
like just be fully the one
Present?
in charge of her for two Saturday and Sunday all day.
Well, look, I don't have any children, but I do hang around my nieces and nephews, and it does seem that they just exist. Their whole existence for the first few years of their lives is they're constantly trying to kill themselves, and you have to stop that from happening.
Exactly.
So you always have to be on.
Right, because she's crawling and trying to walk different places, touching things. It's just like, right, you can, like, even yesterday I was trying to watch football. Like, you can't really watch football because, oh, where are you? It's just,
Yeah,
Does she have a
parenting
playpen?
thing. Yeah, but she hates being in it.
My friend has already put up his Christmas tree, and his child, about 1 year old now, for the first time got to see a Christmas tree all lit up.
Too early for Christmas trees, by the way.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it?
kind of June.
Yeah,
This
it's
is a
too early.
weird Thanksgiving.
It's
I feel like
too
it's
early.
happening earlier this year than in previous years. Also, I prefer Thanksgiving be a set day. I don't like this whole, it's just, it moves.
No, I don't want a Monday Thanksgiving.
Thursday of the month.
No, you get a nice little.
Just like to
Friday
be able to
off,
have it
long
set in my
weekends.
calendar the entire year.
It's like the
I know
fourth
that it
Thursday
is,
or
but
third Thursday, right?
Yeah, I don't like it that way.
Yeah, people are already putting up Christmas lights in my neighborhood too. It's a
All
little
right,
early.
sorry, Roy.
A
Back
little
to the
early.
baby.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that your child's gonna have her first Christmas tree up, right?
I was thinking I might go a little fake Christmas tree because I feel like she's just going to be wanting to crawl over, like climb that tree, and
It's the same thing. If it's fake
Yeah,
or
but
real,
if-
she's going to try to
but
climb
if it's
it.
little, it's not going to like do as much damage.
Right,
falling.
because all Baby Zoo is just spend their entire time trying to kill themselves.
Right. You got the glass ornaments on the tree too. I mean, that's
Yeah,
gonna be
that's
a disaster.
you know what? These are the little things that you don't really pay attention to when you don't have a child. Yeah.
What happened with your friend's
great.
baby then? I'm confused.
Yeah, I mean, he experienced his first Christmas tree for a while, so you're thinking about, oh wow, a lot of firsts for your child, and I'm thinking, oh, when I get my Christmas tree, how is Claire going to react to that? When you get your Christmas tree, how is your daughter going to react to that? You know, that's part of parenthood right there. Just
Part of
experience-
parenthood just seems like experiencing simple pleasures that we take for granted right away, and you relive things through the eyes of a child.
Yeah.
Support for the Dan Le Batard Show podcast comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Let's talk about buying a home for a minute. Because of rising interest rates, there's a lot of unpredictability when it comes to buying a home these days. It's causing a lot of anxiety and stress for a lot of people. Well, our friends at Quicken Loans are doing something about that. They're calling it the power buying process. Here's how it works. Quicken Loans will verify your income, your assets, and credit in less than 24 hours to give you a verified approval. That gives you the strength of a cash buyer. Then once you're verified, you qualify for their all-new exclusive Rate Shield approval. This is very cool here. First, they'll lock your rate up for 90 days while you shop. Now, here's the best part. If rates go up, your rates stay the same. But if rates go down, your rate also drops. Either way, you win. It's the kind of thinking you'd expect from America's largest mortgage lender. To get started, simple. Go to rocketmortgage.com/Stugotz. Rate Shield approval. Only valid on certain 30-year purchase transactions. Additional conditions or exclusions may apply based on Quicken Loans data in comparison to public data records. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
Dan Le Batard.
Touchdown Miami's Aquarium Lolita! Come see Flipper! Come see Lolita swim in a bathtub!
Stugotz.
Come see sharks, possibly drugs, swimming in green water! Spend $5 on a wax figure that you'll regret as soon as you get home.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
So we established at the top of last segment that it was an amazing football weekend here in Miami. The Dolphins didn't lose, and the Canes are totally back.
Pause up!
FIU's doing stuff still.
8-3.
So we go to our resident college football expert, our friend of the show, Marty Smith, who's a Virginia Tech guy, and we're going to give it to him for a little bit on that end. I know he was at Yankee Stadium. Marty, how you doing?
You just said the U's back?
The U's totally back. You don't just stroll into Blacksburg and blow out the Virginia Tech Hokies. We're still back.
Hey, Mike, what else is rosy today?
Hey, you're going to be doing something cool with Dan and the show. We got a Moss Miami event, and you're going to be having a Marty party out at Wynwood with us. And if you want any sort of information on that, check out LeBatardBrothers.com. Right, Dan?
Marty, thank you for doing that. He's coming down and he's bringing the party with him. What's it going to look like? What's the Marty party look like December 15th when you swing down here and make all sorts of chaos happen at the Wynwood Yard? We're closing it down for the night.
Well, it's called the Wynwood Yard, so you can expect a yard sale from me. I'm going to get into Jack pretty good. We'll raise a little bit of hell. We'll celebrate your 50th. You don't look a day over 29. You've aged very well, Danny. And we are going to throw down. I can't wait. I'm excited to celebrate Dan's birthday, but I'm most excited to see how Mike Ryan looks right before his debut DJ set in front of all of those adoring fans of his.
Marty,
because let me tell you,
Don't do this,
be nice.
Marty.
Marty, why are you doing that? That's not very nice. Mike is going to make
because I'm here to pump him up, baby. He's never seen a pregame speech like a Marty Party pregame speech. I'm going to have him ready to strap up and spin the hell out of them records. Let's ride, baby.
spin the hell out of them yards.
It's gonna be a jump drive, not really final. But I am very nervous about it because it's live mixing, and I'm taking this very seriously.
And you're, and I hate to say this, but you're our headliner. We're squeezing you in among acts, but
Against all requests.
You're our headliner. DBR. Go ahead, Marty. Talk him up.
Why are you nervous?
Why am I nervous? Because I've never done this before.
That's okay.
I only have a few sessions under my belt. I'm doing lots of live mixing, and I'm the headliner, even though I told Dan the only way I would do this is if I wasn't headlining and I was, just some window dressing, really. And now I see a flyer, and it's my big nervous face on it. That's pretty much what the face is going to look like.
LeBatardBrothers.com. Go ahead. Tell him, Marty.
Do you want me to headline? I can come down there, and you can put on like Kenny Chesney's "She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy," and I'll sing the hell out of that. And then that could be the headline.
Well, Marty? How do you feel about the fact that Mike Ryan is the headliner? That's nonsense. The Marty Party,
it's wonderful.
Wherever the Marty Party ends up, that's the headliner.
I am very much accustomed to playing second fiddle.
The Alabama Crimson Tide, Marty. Like who?
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna. What is? Honest to God, we've been talking about this around here. Their second team, led by Jalen Hurts, is that the best competition that they would have if they played in the national championship game against their second team with Jalen Hurts?
No, Clemson's good, man. Not only is Clemson good, they're really starting to figure it out. Trevor Lawrence is he's a bona fide star now at quarterback. Their defense is elite. They look very complete to me now, and only in the last couple of weeks have they looked that complete. Notre Dame looked very good the other night. I was there at Yankee Stadium. But at this point, I still believe it's Alabama and everybody else. From a lot of different perspectives, their depth is unbelievable. Tua is going to run away with the Heisman Trophy, and their physicality. So I think that Alabama, if they don't show up unprepared, which I don't expect, and they don't suffer some sort of catastrophic injury, I think they're going to win it in convincingly. But Clemson is good, guys. They are.
You mentioned Clemson, and I was watching that game against Duke a little bit. Why do they storm the field after beating Duke 36-6? Is this something that they do every game? How much does that cost the program? Does that cost the program money?
What, to run on the field?
Yeah, aren't there some fines involved? You can't just storm the field for being in a basketball school by 30 points.
Sure you can. Why not?
That's absurd. You're Clemson. You made the college football playoff so many years in a row.
Well, if it's tradition, I mean, so some people will say that other schools going to their fan bases on visiting fields and singing their own alma mater to their own fan bases is cheap. Whatever. If I were them, I wouldn't care. Who cares what anybody else thinks?
Maybe
you don't care what people say. I mean, y'all don't care what people say. I wouldn't care. I don't care.
Maybe they thought they beat the Duke basketball team. Marty,
By the way, how about the Duke basketball team, boys? Holy smokes!
Yeah. Would you say there was?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm cutting you off.
Would you say there was anyone happier than Nick Saban when they were tied 10-10 with the Citadel at halftime?
Well, I can tell you this. The hardest week of practice that those young men experienced this year was last week. He wears them out in games like this where they're 51.5-point favorites and they're facing the triple option and all of those things. I'm sure he appreciated it. I'm sure it's going to be used as fuel this week. Did you guys see the line in the Iron Bowl? It's like 24.5. I mean,
aren't they covering every spread? Aren't they covering every spread?
They didn't cover against the Citadel.
No, they didn't cover against Citadel.
51-17.
I know, but before that, did they not cover every spread?
No, A&M got them too.
Oh yeah, A&M did get them.
I just marvel at them, guys. And is it rat poison? Yeah. Does it piss off coach? Yeah. And I said to an Alabama fan on the New York subway, by the way, if you guys want to see a humorous undertaking, watch me take the New York subway. It was ridiculous. I was just asking random people, hey, is this the right train if I want to get to Yankee Stadium? And they looked at me as if I was some alien from another planet. Because probably they couldn't understand my accent, first of all. But, Bama, look, again, it's either unpreparedness or injury. And when they lost the Iron Bowl last year, I was with Saban after that. And he said to me, look, the hardest thing is convincing these guys when all they do is win that they can be beat. But so many of the leaders on the team right now got beat that game, and they're not going to forget it. So I don't see them showing up unprepared. I see them looking right dead in the eye of history.
Marty, last segment we were talking about this, and you've been all around the country. Where do you think they have the best tailgate and the most debaucherous tailgate in college football?
That would be the one and the same. The Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's dude. When I showed up at Death Valley at like 5:50 in the morning to make some Sports Center television a couple weeks ago, a guy with an eye patch and a bullhorn said, "Welcome to Death Valley, Marty Party." It was 5:50 in the morning. He was tuned up already. The kickoff was at 8:00, man. My kind of people down there, though. I love them.
Marty, as we say that the U is back, totally back. You storm into Blacksburg, defeat your Hokies. Mark Richt's a genius.
Disappointing.
What the hell's going on with the Virginia Tech Hokies? I know you had a lot of injuries at the.
How does that happen, Marty? How does it happen that Virginia Tech is a touchdown underdog at home and gets slaughtered by a bad Miami team, and it's the first time Miami's quarterback has looked any good?
I just don't know. It's so perplexing to me. And, you know, Mike, you're mentioning the injuries. They had a lot of debilitating injuries, and I think that there was some sort of false hope among all of us who are Virginia Tech people when they just smoked Florida State, because I think everybody felt like FSU was better than they are. I mean, they're just not good. And then Josh Jackson gets hurt, and when he got hurt, you just kind of go, But everybody felt like we had still had a capable team. It's disarray right now. I don't understand it. That is one of the best environments in college football, and to just get ran, that doesn't happen in Blacksburg. So it does.
Yeah, it does, because the last time it does happen in Blacksburg, because the last time they played a game there, it happened against a bad Miami team. That Blacksburg. When is the last time a Virginia Tech was this bad? A Virginia Tech team was this bad?
I don't remember it. My youth, maybe. When I was growing up, they were bad before Frank Beamer got it rolling, and they were mediocre in Frank's later years in 14, 15, 16, that 14 and 15 era. You know, they were not especially competitive from a national perspective. But this seems. Look, I haven't called Fuente or Bud Foster or anybody like that. I've been immersed in whatever game I'm covering, so I don't know what's going on in the inner workings, but it doesn't seem especially harmonious.
He is going to be immersed in a Marty party, December 15th. LeBatardBrothers.com is where you get the ticket. It is a night we don't want too many people there. We put the prices very affordable so that fans on the show are not priced out. The Wynwood Yard, LeBatardBrothers.com. Marty will be hosting, Mike will be DJing, and we will have some cool Miami music there. Marty, thank you, sir. I look forward to talking to you before we head up to December 15th. Thank you.
Love you, boys. Thanks for having me.
I can't believe it.
That Philip brought his little brother on our mission into orbit.
How long until we get there? How long until we get there? How long until we get there?
No, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico.
What's this button do? What's this button do? What's this button do? What's this button do?
No, don't touch that. Believe it, Geico could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Don Le Batard.
You know who I shared I was on the same flight as, and then I shared a tram from the airport to the rental car terminal on this past trip. Elvis Crespo.
No.
Yeah. Azuquita.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sonrisa, Suavemente.
Yeah, man.
This guy's a legend.
Yeah.
Stugats.
Algo en tu cara me fascina. Algo en tu cara me da. Será tu sonrisa. Come on, Stan, join us. Será tu sonrisa.
Look at us bonding over Sonrisa.
Yeah. I have no idea who you guys are talking about.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugats on the ticket.
I left out one part of my journey to UCF. When I went to college game day, I had the backstage passes, so there's like a little bit of an area there, and so many people from the program came up to me, lots of people from the athletic department, And in talking to them, I was like, you know what would be really cool is if I could talk to Danny White, the athletic director. He's been on our show. Maybe I can get a picture with him holding up this T-shirt. They weren't actually helping me get this, but they were helping me, and sort of they were pointing to the general vicinity that Danny White was in. And they're like, yeah, there's Danny in the glasses. So I looked to a group of people. Several of them had glasses, but I identified this one gentleman with white hair as like, that has to be Danny White. He looks most like an athletic director. So for 30 minutes, I'm angling to take a photo with a Bob Baffert lookalike, who is not Danny White, by the way. I was so sure that this was Danny White. I couldn't Google it. I would have Googled it. Mike, why wouldn't you Google it? But there is no signal. Your data is useless when you're at a college game day, especially one on a campus like UCF that's not...
We blew it.
Are you
Mike?
okay?
Yeah, we blew it, Mike.
No, you see my chest like I have UCF all on my chest right now.
We should have been telling UCF to make game day a circus. We should have been telling the fans of our show who are around campus. You saw a lot of signs while you were there?
There were our fans were out there in full force. They just weren't in good spots.
You seem to be able to do whatever you want. You were on the field.
I was on the field, but I didn't just walk on the field. That was arranged by ESPN. Yeah, I didn't just storm the field. I had field passes.
Are you doing everything that you possibly can to avoid that LeBron came in here yesterday and scored 50 against the Heat?
He took that shot that Kyrie got mad at. That's how he got 51. If Kyrie was on this team, he would have thrown the ball into the crowd.
Lance Stevenson dared him, so that was his explanation.
Oh, that's justified then.
I don't know what you do with the fact that you've got money tied up in a bad basketball team.
It's kind of a bummer, and
you lose. You wait it out. That's all you can.
Well, no, because no. This is what I'm telling you. You say that's all you can do. There is no way that's what Pat Riley does. Just no way. The plan was to have these guys improve this year, to prove that they can improve from what it is that they did last year.
Yeah, that was the plan last year, too.
1 year of show me. That's the plan. I'm just telling you what the plan is.
Last year. Okay, but what is he going to do? You get Jimmy Butler? Ship sailed. I told you, man, lost his touch.
Whoa.
Lost his touch. Wow. Okay, LeBron comes into your building, ho-hum, 50-50 burger. What are you going to do? Nothing, because that's what you've done for the last few years.
Wow.
I'm sorry, you're the Godfather. I'll love you forever, but I'm just mad right now, and you got to let me vent, okay?
Richardson got ejected for throwing his shoe. These guys don't get any calls though, because there's no big names on this team when Wade's not there. There's no respect from the refs. It's Josh Richardson. They don't even know who he is.
Josh Richardson got frustrated because he couldn't put his shoe on, and I'm sure that's not what the only frustration was, but that's what it looked like. And so he threw his shoe into the stands.
Because he had foul trouble, and then he goes up and gets hit hard, and he doesn't get any calls.
Because he's Josh Richardson, the type of player you don't pull off a bargaining table. He's Josh Richardson. He's never going to get that respect. You know why? Because he's Josh Richardson.
Hey, refs, how about you don't pay attention to what their name is and you just call it if it's a foul?
No, pay attention to what his name is. His name is Josh Richardson, and it's absurd that you pull him off a bargaining table. Pat, I love you, but come on, man.
When are the Heat going to give him a max? It's coming, right?
It's coming. I'm so sick of saying, hey, these are good movable contracts. If they were movable, if they were good, they would have been moved.
I saw a list on Twitter of the 12. It's vote here. Who's the most underrated player? There was 12 guys. He was one of them.
Wow.
That's what we have. But then you see the next poll, worst contracts in the NBA. We got about 5 of those.
How'd he do in the voting?
I don't know.
It was just one of those that was a slideshow. That wasn't actual voting.
Yes.
I'm kind of bummed that Dwayne missed that game. And let me say this on the front end. Totally understand. Dwayne, don't be there. It's just a bummer that's the fans' last shot.
Everybody's scared to talk about this paternity stuff in anything other than radiant, glowing terms.
I know.
You feel the need to say it every time, and it's totally fine. It's great. It's fine. It's great that you're a father. Take all the time you need, please. Even if it's all season, several seasons, no problem.
But you know what? We have some necessary context, too, because that video at the start of the season that he put out, the One Last Dance, it was super long. I felt like we were missing some sort of information when he talked about.
This is the bargain version of the Grandpa Farewell Tour, where he only shows up for 40 of the tour dates.
But it's important, especially when
we're bound to miss things buried minute 7.5 into this 10-minute I'm coming back video.
Well, he did allude that there were things going on that we didn't know about, and we were like, what could there possibly be going on? We know everything there is to know about you. But it is important to bond, especially when you have when you use a surrogate. This time is crucial. But it's just a bummer if you're a fan. This was your last opportunity to see LeBron in this building playing against Dwayne Wade, and you missed that.
The baby has its own Instagram page, though, if you want to check that out.
Oh, really? That's cute. There's some really cute pictures, and I'm very happy for them. It's just a bummer that we didn't get to see Wayne against
Give me
LeBron.
another celebrity couple that lives their life on social media the way those two do. Is there such a thing?
Oh, every celebrity couple, Dan. Yeah, every celebrity couple. Now, I understand you're going to use the example of them looking very moist after what was very obviously sex on their Snapchat. And yeah, that's different, but couples nowadays, like Pete Davidson, Ariana Grande, like that. This is what happens now on social media. You get a name that combines both your names. That's part of the deal.
Yeah. They're never going to win in these Vice jerseys, are they?
Yeah, man. Look good, play good. That whole cliche is getting really put to the test here with look good, play good. However, it's Josh Richardson and not Dwayne Wade.
Well, but how do you feel, though, Mike, about one team has in a Laker jersey a guy scoring 51? If you saw at one point in the first quarter, if you looked up at the big Jumbotron, you saw, or just the scoreboard where they keep the data, you saw LeBron 19 points and no other teammate, all zeros by all of his teammates. So on your side, you've got LeBron James. On one side, you've got LeBron James. On your side, you have a guy who gets ejected and is the story for throwing a shoe.
We like LeBron now, right? Yeah. Like, we're over all that stuff. I'm over it. I don't know about you guys.
How was the crowd to LeBron?
How was it? Roy, you were there. Was there a lot of boos for him?
No, everybody.
Just my dad.
Yeah, just gone.
With his press pass on.
It was like 3/4 Lakers fans there anyway, so there was no boring.
Wow. It sort of goes hand in hand because we're no good. If we were good and could talk ourselves into being any sort of challenger, we'd boo him.
I've got something for you. I've got a no, not news.
Everybody pause.
No.
Dan LeBatard has something for us. Everybody, show him respect.
First of all, it's borrowed. It's borrowed from Ethan Skolnick, but Cleveland's record.
You better credit 5 reasons.
Cleveland's record without LeBron, 99 and 227. Miami's record since LeBron leaving, 176 and 167. I'm saying, you know that when LeBron leaves, your franchise is going to get wrecked. One of them is incompetent, Cleveland, and they get wrecked. Miami gets in this purgatory where now they're tied up. Now it's a bad team.
Incompetent, but they found a way to get something for LeBron the first time he left, something that put them in position to get him back. What did we get?
That's what you want?
What did we get?
You want?
Tell me, what's going on with Dion Waiters? Not that I want him back ever, but what's going on there?
What's going on, Dan?
I told you it's an unprofessional rehab. Like I walked through the arena recently with somebody on the Heat, and there are big pictures of Hassan Whiteside and Dion Waiters. And just what people spit around it is our leaders. Look at our leaders.
Yeah, but who are they blaming? Are they blaming he who shall not be named and Dion Waiters? We're the franchise that gave him the money.
Correct. I know, Mike, but hold on. Let's backtrack a second, okay? Because I don't want to sound like a Riley apologist on this. The team is in bad shape. There is no explaining away the condition that the team is in. I expected them to show some improvement, that Josh Richardson and Bam and Justice would grow, and you got rolled by the Sixers.
Dion's growing all right.
But I would say to you, when we were all back there, I remember you specifically making the arguments, because I was always telling you, Mike, really? You're going to build. I'm not saying I'm right on this. Hold on a second. But what I was saying at every turn, you're building around Dion Waiters and Hassan Whiteside. I kept asking you guys, are you guys good with that? And everybody, every time said yes. Yeah. Every time. Yes, you give Hassan a max. You can't let him go. Dion was great this year. It's easy to do now in retrospect.
Yeah, no, I agree with what he was saying. They weren't plan A, but by the time plan A and B fell apart, you had to bring those guys back even at that price because you couldn't lose them for nothing. Where the criticism comes in is, number one, they should absolutely be smarter than me. They should totally be smarter than me. That's a real thing. Okay? But number two is, when we signed them, what I was telling myself to soothe myself was, we can trade those contracts. We'll build up Josh Richardson into a guy that we could trade for a Jimmy Butler. What do we do? Not that. Philadelphia, you see the plays that Jimmy Butler's making to win them games? I would have loved that over here. So what's the plan? Once you build them up, you're not going to build them up to superstars. You're supposed to build them up into assets to get superstars. We failed there.
Agreed.
Well, then how do we fix it?
Tank time. It's time to tank, everybody. Tanking it.
Tank it.
Let's tank.
Well,
let's tank. Dan, tank time? Dan, tank time?
Well, what happened yesterday, isn't that what it looks like?
Yeah, Dan. Tank time then? You're on board with the tank?
I mean, you guys, yeah.
Tanking for Zion.
This season's not going anywhere.
Not trying for Zion.
Not trying for Zion. Yeah.
I think Stugatz was in here trying to get a lion for Zion.
He's still here. He's somewhere in this room, right?
Is he?
He was trying to get a slogan going, lion for Zion.
Well, not trying for Zion. That makes a lot more.
Yeah.
Why would although Pat Riley has lied to, he's failed the city, failed the fan base.
There's just so many teams not trying harder than the Heat are not trying, which is the problem.
It's really hard, and we sell the culture that it makes it impossible to not try. It's a real catch-22 here, Dan. It's a double-edged sword. What else? What other cliche could this be? Because if you start tanking, then you can't.
Not
say
trying
culture.
does run counter to culture.
It's counterculture. That could be the shirt. Counterculture.
Maybe culture's the problem here.
Just put the word counter in front of culture.
Counterculture. Cancel culture. Man, this is a bad situation here. They seem very far. Not at all close to a championship, unlike your Miami Hurricanes, who are totally back. And how about that, Mark Richt? Visionary. All he had to do was have both tight ends injured to stop playing them and go full spread with a spread quarterback. How novel of an idea. We actually use a spread quarterback and a spread offense, and we are so back. Cam Davis, huh? This kid. Told you. 4 5-star talent everywhere.
Why do you do this to yourself?
Do what? Would it be Pitt? We're going to send a message to Pitt, even though
you're not.
Pitt
being Pitt. Pitt's good.
You've been laughing at Pitt all year. They're
Pitt's
ranked.
good. You're going to lose to Pitt.
Want to bet?
You lost to them last year when you were back.
Yeah, but now revenge game.
Oh my
revenge
God!
Game at home. They've already locked in their place in the. I'm telling you, and we just figured out how to play, man. Woo!
I mean, Pitt is in that third tier, right? Pitt. I want to say Pitt is good. Pitt is good the same way Syracuse is good. They're both better than Miami, but then they face someone like Notre Dame, and they get slaughtered, and when Pitt faces Clemson, that's going to go poorly.
That was a bummer that Dungy got hurt, though. I wanted to see Dungy against that Notre Dame defense. DeVito, although, has come in a couple of times, and he hasn't been as terrible as he was in that game.
No, but Dungy's a good quarterback. Where did he get hurt in that game? It
was bizarre.
How early and how?
It was bizarre. It was in the first quarter. He took what seemed like a routine college football hit, which is, 3 guys laying on top of you as you get 3 yards on a QB draw.
He's a good college quarterback,
He's
man.
tough as nails. Every time you see this guy, his uniform is just so dirty. It's incredible.
Why are nails so tough?
Yeah.
I've bent nails before trying to hammer them in. And I'm not a strong person, but I've bent nails.
Mike Ryan, if Miami had Syracuse's quarterback, Miami would be very good.
I think they were saying at College Game Day, if Miami had Mackenzie Milton, they'd be in the college football playoff.
Oh my
God. Agreed.
And it's hard to deny that because I was on the field up close with Mackenzie Milton. They call him KZ. Did you know that? I'm really sure I like that. But anyways, he hails from the 808, and he'd be absolutely a great quarterback.
He's fun to watch, isn't he?
He's super fun to watch. I'm not really sure what happened in that game. Oh, the kicker. And then it totally deflated Cincinnati. But yeah, Dungy got like a routine hit. He popped up, went back to the center, and then he just crumpled to the ground in pain, which reminded me that football sucks on your body.
Right now, Miami's projected by ESPN, Bonagura, and Sherman. Right now, bowl games, Dan, take a guess.
Ooh.
Bonagura has Miami in the Quick Lane Bowl.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know what that is.
Wow. Ford Field versus Northern Illinois.
Oh,
Detroit?
Yeah, the Quick Lane Bowl.
Against Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
We are back.
Huskies.
And Sherman has Miami going to the Walk-Ons Independence Bowl.
All right.
the Independence Bowl. Okay, now.
Independence Bowl's a little bit better.
Playing against Houston.
Ooh, I'd like to see that. They've checked out at Oliver, Major Applewhite. It's a whole bad situation there.
And I know you're thinking, where's FIU going to play? Good question, Dan.
Probably a better bowl.
Bonagura has them going to the Cheribundi Tart Cherry Boca Raton Bowl. Wow, a mouthful. Against USF, that's not going to end well. I love FIU. But
USF is not very good this year. By the way, Miami's...
No, he said, no. Did you say USF? Yeah, USF.
Yeah, USF is not very good. Although we are headed into the war on I-4. By the way, Miami's a 4.5 point favorite. It blew up to 5.5 now against Pitt. They're going to win that game easy.
Sherman, Dan, has FIU playing SMU in the Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl. Back-to-back Gasparilla Bowls for us.
Has Butch Davis fixed it all?
He's fixed the mess. Ron Turner, man. I could have fixed that mess. Get out of here. Please.
You're 8-3. Pause up. What happened?
Yeah, man, pause up.
Don't assume that you're going to be a good head football coach, as Condoleezza Rice found out yesterday on Twitter.